And it's also could be anywhere in the meat. There's nothing wrong with it. As long as the meat is cooked, it's okay. But a lot of people see that and they'll spook and leave the whole caribou, but there's nothing wrong with it. Take the liver out. Careful not to cut anything. There's a little sack right there you don't want to cut. Cyst on the liver right here. See this? It's a little Tanya crabi, I think is what it's called. Scientific name, but that's nothing.
That might be nothing, but be alert for signs of brucellosis. Brucellosis can occur in caribou and bison. It is a highly contagious bacterial disease that can infect humans, causing sickness. Infected animals will have swollen leg joints, causing lameness or swollen reproductive organs. Do not cut into or take meat from these infected areas. If the cow is pregnant, do not puncture the fetal sac and do not take this meat. If you come into contact with infected fluid from any of these parts, wash your hands, knives, and clothes with hot, soapy water. The rest of the caribou is safe. Be sure to cook the meat thoroughly. Remember, if you leave meat because you believe or know it is diseased, you must report it to a renewable resource officer as soon as possible.
You just kick some snow inside of it. That snow absorbs all the blood. Everything comes out nice and clean. You just run your hand through there and scrape it all out. Just take the neck like this, cut the neck off. Follow the neck down here to the front of the ribs. Pull it ahead like that. You can cut it with a knife, but I usually do it with an axe. It's easier. There's a big joint here. It's a big neck joint. So you just give that a whack with the axe. It's done. There's the neck. This neck, there's always a bit of rumen and stuff up in the front of it. A lot of times we just bone this neck out because it's just a big bone and there's not very much meat on it. So now, what you want to do, you want to knock this rib off here. You want to take this rib away, but there's also the back strap on here. See this line? So you don't want to leave the back strap on the rib. You want to take that separate. But if you look into the light, you can see where the back strap ends there, see? So that's where you want to cut with your axe. But also, you can also do it this way too. Always stick a hole in the ribs too on both sides. It gives you something to hang on to both sides because we've got nothing to grab onto. So if you're not sure where to cut, just turn the rib on its side like this, and you see the muscle structure here where the backbone ends. Just stick your knife through there like that, and that'll show you where to cut inside the ribs, because you're going to be cutting from the inside. You're not going to be able to see where to cut. Okay, so then now when you tip it over to cut, you look inside, you got these lines here. I just use a knife. Some people use a saw or whatever, but just use an axe with a good sharp blade and just give it a whack here. Pick it up, clean everything off, all the snow and stuff. Take your other rib, do the same. Pick it up. Find a nice clean spot to lay it down. And you lay one rib down like that. And you take your other rib, scrape all the snow and stuff off it so it's nice and clean. Give it a shake. And then you lay it inside the other rib so it's laying nice and flat. So then you take your brisket, brush all the snow off it, make sure it's nice and clean. And then you lay the brisket in like this. So everything's kind of one nice compact unit. There's your heart. In there like that. And this liver, you can just always leave the liver in the snow for a while. Let it cool off good, because there's lots of blood in it. And snow sucks all the blood out of it. And you take your two kidneys, set those in there. And you leave that and all that freezes. And once the liver stiffens up, you can also do the same to that too. You can just lay that in there like that. Just let it freeze in there, and it's a nice compact unit ready to go.
This lace fat around here, you kind of gather it up here as much as you can. Just rip it off. And that's, people put it in there with their fried meat. And they're frying meat like that. So just take it like that. Make a little bundle. Put it aside for later. Generally you just try and work those little pellets all out of there. This piece of the stomach here is called a hairnet. So you just gotta peel it away from the rest of the things here. And when you gather it all up here, once you start peeling it, you just cut it off here. You first take all the shit out you can. Cut it off there. Put it aside. The thimble, the Bible, are two smallest bags on the guts there. So you separate those as much as you can here. And again, you take as much guts out of shit as you can here. Rumen, cut it off there. And then you cut this out. That's called the Bible. And the reason why they call it a Bible, you'll see it later when I clean it, there's a bunch of little folds in there. And of course there's room in between all, and you got to clean that out. Now you took all these out. This is the Bible, the thimble, and the hairnet, the one you took out first. First you take this hairnet and you get as much of the rumen out as you can. And don't be scared to get your hands dirty in this point, because you're going to have to. Now see, it's pretty well clean, but just put your hand inside it like this and just clean it with snow. So you got most of the rumen out of it, because I mean most of the cleaning is going to take place when you get home. Run it under a tap. Anyway, and there's a lot of elders like this. So the reason why you do this hairnet first is kind of a little pouch for everything else. Next one to clean here is this, called the thimble. You don't have to take too much cleaning to do this. Just get most of it out. Don't worry about cleaning the inside too much. If you had water or overflow, you could do it then. You'll kind of roll it up, and then you put it inside this hairnet here. And this Bible here, the reason why it's called a Bible is there's all kinds of little flaps in here. So just clean it up a little bit here, and now you put that in there too, into the bag. You put that lace in there. You just make a little hole there in the bag. And when you take the other end and you poke it into that hole, kind of cinch it up like this, and you got a nice little bag that'll freeze together like that.
When you're loading this meat, you always try to put the bodies to the back of the sleigh, where all the weight is. It goes to the back. Always put the cut part up, because then the blood doesn't drain out. If you put the cut part down and the sleigh is pounding, all the blood drains out of it. The shoulders go alongside the edges so the ribs don't poke through the hole in your sleigh. Try to knock as much snow off the meat as you can, because if you got a good load of meat, all the snow on the in there will turn to blood after the tarp is put on it because it's warm. The rumps kind of go up towards the front. A nice clean load of meat. Looks good. This is what your sleigh load of meat should look like. Should be nice and clean. No snow on it. Should be all there. You just try to pile your meat up, stack it up, and if you got a real heavy load, try to put a lot of your hindquarters in the back, because that's where all the weight is. You got too much weight in the front, it's going to pound and you get a lot of blood in your meat. This meat here is pretty well set up, but if the meat was fresher and it wasn't as stiff, we'd put another piece of polythene in here and then put the tarp in, just in case there's any blood that don't go through your sleigh and get your wrapper all full of blood. If you got lots of tarp, when you got a big load of meat, you always leave one fold of tarp over. So then when you put your own personal gear in there, you have something to cover your gear on top and it doesn't get full of blood. Sometimes people want hides, so you clean them up and bring them back to them and use them to sleep on, and they're pretty handy. If it gets real cold, sometimes we'll freeze them out flat and we'll stand them up right alongside the tent for a windbreak.
This video has tried to show you how to better harvest caribou. When you have finished butchering the animal in the bush, remember there is still more work to be done before that meat hits your dinner table. Pack the meat, whether in a sleigh, vehicle, or plane, with the cut side up. Keep the meat free of snow and as clean as possible. These caribou are beautiful wild animals. Take only what you need and waste as little as possible. Out of respect for these animals and the ancient ways, the Dog Rib Nation kindly asks hunters to leave the gut pile on land. And remember to report a poacher. Funding for this video was provided by the Department of Resources, Wildlife and Economic Development, GNWT. Special thanks to our Métis hunters, Earl Evans and Kenny Hudson, who conceived of this project and worked hard with the Fort Smith Métis Council to make it happen.